I'm here at Exotic Aquatic, which is an awesome fish store here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I got a busy road behind me, but I'm gonna go ahead and take you guys inside. I'm gonna let you guys meet the owner, and we're gonna tour the store and check it out. This is Joseph Hardin from JH Aquatics, and I'm here at Exotic Aquatic in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I'm here with the owner, Rob. How are you doing, Rob?
I'm doing really well, thanks.
Just wondering, how long have you been in business here?
Well, 18 years. We started in 2000.
Awesome. So what got you into the hobby, really, in the beginning?
Oh gosh, I've always loved nature, and when I was a little kid, my parents had a little freshwater aquarium, so that got me going. And then I graduated onto saltwater when I was 13, so I'm very passionate about both.
Well, and you have some experience in biology?
Oh yes, I've got a Bachelor of Science in Biology, so that helps also.
Yeah, I'm sure that helps as well. All right, so it looks like you have saltwater and freshwater fish here.
Absolutely. Here in South Florida, the saltwater tends to be a little more popular than other parts of the country, so you'll see that we've got some really unique freshwater to really try and boost that.
Nice, awesome. So you're gonna go ahead and take me around and show me a little bit of the store, yeah?
Looking forward to it.
All right, let's get on that. All right, so you're gonna go ahead and give me a little tour of the saltwater side of things here?
Absolutely.
All right, show me around.
Well, let's look up here first. I've got in the back right here, that's a passer angel. He's also called a king angel, and he's unique in the sense that he's actually only comes from the waters of Mexico. So that's a fish we don't see every day because there's not a lot of species collected out of the Mexican waters there. So he's a big tough guy. He'll get about the size of a dinner plate full grown, so somebody would have to have a pretty big tank to accommodate that guy.
Wow, very nice.
In the aquarium below here, we've got a pair in the middle of the tank. The male's up front and the female's just behind him in the center there. Those are rhomboid wrasses, and those only come from Australia. So these guys took a trip all the way from the other side of the planet to get to us here. But we like selling them in pairs because having a female to show off for will cause the male to really have spectacular colors to impress her. Something that's kind of fun, a lot of people like the idea of schooling fish. So we have these 4 golden trevallies here. They're in the jack family, and they school real tight, but again, it's a species that gets really large, so somebody has to be prepared to accommodate them. Fun fact about those guys is these were actually born in captivity through aquaculture, so we're really supporting the tank raise movement and trying to get as much people raising the tank as opposed to taking them out of nature when possible. If the Caribbean species over here is the queen angel. So to the right, the big angel there is a beautiful local species. We've got those right here in Fort Lauderdale, right offshore on the reef line there. And that's a beauty. So this species right here, for saltwater fish, you know, he's not exactly jumping off the page with bright colors, but he's got some real subtle beauty to him. He's in the family of tuskfish. He's the Jordani, and they come from Australia as well. I like that we're being able to get fish from Australia because the handling practices and collection practices are very, very ethical. And we're getting some really amazing fish out of Australia. We've also got the ever popular clown trigger with all the spots there in the middle.
Yeah.
And then we've got Dory, the blue tang. Now that movie's changed the name of these fish. We've got
right.
Nemo was the name of the clownfish, and Dory's our blue tang there. As we move on down this way, we've got another queen angel, some other foxface, which is an interesting fish. These foxface are great community fish. They're never aggressive towards other fish, and they're great algae eaters, and they also are communal, so you can actually have several of those and they all get along just fine. Down here in the aquarium below, we're looking at a variety of tang fish. There's a few wrasses in here, but a lot of tangs. The yellow, solid yellow fellows, are the yellow tangs. They're one of the most popular freshwater fish, and they only come from Hawaii. So there's the Hawaii species, and they've been, there's only a certain amount collected every month, and so they're being tightly regulated in those guys. Over here, he's hiding in the corner. That sucks. It's a pretty fish.
Yeah.
The Moorish idol is a real beauty here now. He's coming up looking at me because he's thinking I was going to feed him. These guys are just gorgeous. If you look to the back of the aquarium, there's that blue wrasse with the black stripe going down. He's a cleaner wrasse. If you watch him, he's actually going up to that fish offering to clean it. If the fish had a parasite on his body, he would seek out that wrasse, and the wrasse would pick it off, so they have a beneficial relationship with one another. So over here we have a variety of corals. We're talking about aquaculture and getting the animals bred and grown in captivity. So we're doing that with a lot of the corals you see here, especially the small ones. We actually do what's called fragging, and that's taking a colony and cutting it into smaller colonies so that they can grow out. So we've got quite a variety of corals here from Indonesia, some are from Australia, all over the world represented here, the tropical regions. Those are the little frags, we call them. So those we'll put in the aquarium and they'll grow out for customers. And then we have some anemones here. There's a bubble tip anemone. I don't know because the lighting's not great on them.
No, they look good.
So we're coming into this aquarium is 8 feet long, and we've got quite a community of fish in here that all get along. We have a solar fairy wrasse, a variety of anthias, blue chromis. When this yellow wrasse gets under the light, he's got some really pretty orange lines in his head. Now, what that indicates is that he's turning into a male. All wrasses are born females. So for example, these two yellow wrasses are female, and they're juveniles. In nature, they're all born female, and then when one separates itself as being more dominant, it'll grow bigger, and its color will change like his have now to have those beautiful bar striping on the face. So the fish, that's an example of a fish that changes sex through their life. These platinum clownfish are raised in captivity. There's a lot of what they call designer clownfish, and that's clowns that they're breeding for different qualities and colors. So that's what you're seeing there with these white guys, the platinum clownfish.
Who's that guy right there?
That's called a scissor-tailed dartfish. That's a really good social fish that's good in the smaller aquarium. He doesn't demand a lot of space. And we've sold all of his buddies because they are very community-oriented, and you can have quite a school of those. It creates a really pretty effect. Oh, we were looking at a foxface earlier. I've got a couple babies in here that are just tiny little guys. The yellow, black, and white. Little babies. They're about 2 inches long. This fella here, blonde naso tang, he's got the real pretty yellow dorsal fin there. And I made him shy. There he comes again. Thread fin butterfly, variety of chromis in that aquarium, and a sand sifting diamond goby sitting down on the bottom there. What they do is they dig up a mouthful of sand and sift it through their gills. They're looking for little tiny crustaceans that live in the seabed. So they're practical in an aquarium because they'll keep the sand floor nice and clean by turning it over and doing their sifting behavior. We've got some really nice clowns again. This variety here is another one of they call the snowflake clownfish, again because of their markings. They're from a company called ORA, or Ocean Reef and Aquarium. They're world renowned for their breeding programs and propagation of coral and fish. I'm really fond of these red chorus wrasses, the fella back there with the yellow tail. With the right lighting, they've got these amazing neon blue speckles that really pop out. And over, perched on a rock, we've got a long-nosed hawkfish. Now, the hawkfish is a relatively big family of fish, and you can see why they call it a hawk, because they perch. And they've got very attentive, alert eyes, and he's just watching to see, waiting for food to come along, and then he'll jump on it. So that's a fun little fish that interacts a lot with its keepers. We've also got pajama cardinal fish, the fish that's really easy to breed in captivity because the male will actually carry the eggs in his mouth until they hatch, and he even keeps them after they've hatched until they're about 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch before he lets them out of his mouth to be on their way. So that's kind of fun. We've got a Caribbean local here. This is a Royal Grama with the yellow back half and the bright purple front. The Royal Gramas are beautiful, and here locally really inexpensive because again it is a Bahamas species, and we're just sell these guys for $8 to $12. So they're a beautiful, inexpensive addition to an aquarium that does not get too big.
thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Keep in mind, this is really just the salty side of this fish store. This is part 1 of 2 parts. And keep your eyes open for part 2, which comes out on Sunday of this week. It's really cool. There's a lot of really awesome freshwater fish, some really nice nano fish in this fish store. And I have to say thank you to Rob for giving me the time to check out this store and tour it. It really was awesome. And thank you guys for liking this content, sharing it, and commenting on it. It means so much to me. And if you're not subscribed to this content, you like it and you want to see more of it, go ahead and click on that subscribe button down below. Don't forget to hit that bell icon as well for all notifications. And remember guys, keep your tanks clean, your fish fed, and have fun.